freaking three guard. That second one was a 50. I was like, I have to get on the right leg. Touch 12. Yeah. Deep as we can. Yeah. Great shot. Okay. Now you need a little curl. Yeah, off.
Well, good evening, curling fans. We are in the third draw of the Denver 5U Bonspiel. On sheet A, we've got Team Italy versus Finland. Both teams are from the Denver Curling Club. On sheet B, our featured seat, we've got tie play out of the Rock Creek Curling Club versus Team England, which is a combination of Denver Curling and Rock Creek. Sheet C, Team Netherlands versus Estonia. Both of those clubs are from Denver Curling. And on sheet D, we've got Team Turkey playing Japan. Team Turkey is a combination of San Francisco Bay Area, Frogtown, and Lone Star. And Japan is Orange County Curling. So kind of waiting to see on sheet B which color is Taipei and which color is England. Looks like red is just throwing the rocks now. And so I'm going to say red is Taipei, which, nope. Looks like they're England. All right, sorry for that. Anyway, we'll have Brian Brown here tomorrow doing his normal commentary. We'll try to give you little updates from the various sheets.
Women's Worlds.
Oh, okay.
Right there.
Yes.
You just have to change the.
We got yellow delivering the stone. Looks like they're going for a little takeout here. It's got to curl a little bit. That should work out just nice. Did we get a roll on that? Good shot.
Big screen. Set cable box, computer out.
Actually, yeah. Let's go hack. You want up? All right, let's try normal. Whoa.
Well, got a partial hit on that. Looks like they almost got that one swept out of the rings. Got Team China Taipei calling for a draw behind the guard there. Try to get a time on this one. The hog to hog there was about 11 seconds, 11.8. That should go through the house. So we talked to a few curlers from the last draw. They were seeing around 14 seconds for hog to hog time to draw to the tee. As our ice makers pointed out, it's also dependent on the delivery of the stone, how much positive and rotation the thrower puts on the stone. But also has an effect on his tee times.
Curl. Like it. Bring him below. See if we can at least hit one. Yeah, catch this on the outside and it slashes. That's great. It's way outside, so roll for it.
Do you have another set of, do you have another headphone? No.
All right, so I've got a little company here. We've got Chris joining us.
Alrighty, let's see what this looks like. Alright, so we got 5-0 after one.
That should work out nice.
Overcurled just a little bit.
Stick around to the cover. So, Chris, on the sheet we've got China Taipei.
Okay.
That's out of Rock
Oh, you got a
Creek.
whole little
A cheat sheet.
cheat sheet over here, yeah.
And Team England, which is a combination of Denver Curling and Rock Creek. So mostly Rock Creek players there. I think
Yeah.
there's one or two Denver curlers out there.
I recognize a couple of these guys, mostly Chris, because I seem to play with a lot of Chris's these days.
There seems to be a lot of Chris's. Speaking of which, Chris, don't you have a team full of Chris's?
I do. So I got myself. I got Chris with a K, a.k.a. Chris McCoskey, Chris Appleton, and Jeff, who as of this weekend is going by Chris.
Beautiful. So how did you find the times earlier this morning, the hog to hogs?
So they were going a little slow at first. And we were throwing in the first end or so. It was like 12-5 to tee. Lines warmed up a little bit. By about the third or fourth, we were throwing a little bit better. It's still like 13-8, kind of closer to 14 to tee. Never quite got up to some of the regular speed we're used to. The harder part was more so the curl. It seems very dependent upon the handle. It seems like it's kind of a lazy handle or not many rotations. It'll swing late or kind of finish really hard. But if you give it, 4 or 5 rotations, it'll go straight all the way. So that's been, even with leagues this week, that's kind of been what we're focusing on, is just watching our teammates' rotation and kind of judging what it's going to do from there.
There you go. Yeah, they flooded the ice prepping it for this event on Monday. And the speeds have been just a little bit slower, but it was ready for a flood, and I think we'll be flooding again just before national mixed fours in a few weeks.
Yep.
So it's always tricky this time of year when the weather warms up. We have temperature swings from 20s up into the 70s.
Yeah, it was snowing yesterday, and now today is a nice, beautiful day, 60 degrees, the wind's all gone.
Oh yeah. In fact, when we were on the ice Tuesday night, they had thunder snow. We could hear a thunderstorm outside the club, and it was snowing during that event.
Yeah.
So it was just typical Colorado spring weather. Well, they hung a crooked number in that first end. It's 5 for Team England.
Looks like Team Chinese Taipei is having a little bit of trouble finding that draw weight. It is tricky out there. It's been kind of the hardest thing all week, is that it just feels like sometimes things will speed up and you'll be a little bit off that line and it slows way down and it gets in your head real quick.
Yeah. And I think a lot of those players are from Rock Creek, and they typically have some pretty quick ice.
Yeah.
I think it's common to see 15 second hog to hogs there. So if you haven't played on some different ice, it might be a little challenging for new curlers to adapt to in that first game.
I do think that is an advantage for a lot of our curlers that play at both clubs, is just seeing different ice, playing on different ice, and being able to adjust quicker.
Absolutely.
It's definitely a skill that a lot of people who play at the same club in and out kind of tend to lose a little bit, and going out to Bonspiels helps with that quite a bit as well.
Very well said.
It's looking pretty good. Nice freeze on the back.
There we go. Well done. Well, it looks like England's sitting one. We'll give you updates on the other sheets as they start coming in. It looks like on sheet A in the first end, I'm going to say that was France got one.
That is
sorry,
Italy.
Italy.
Yep.
I was looking at the wrong draw. On sheet C, during the first end, I believe the Netherlands, Denver Curling Club, got 4 points there. And on sheet D,
Looks like Japan got 1 in the first, which is DCC as well.
nope, that's
Denver Curling.
Orange County.
Orange County, that's an O, got it.
So that's great eyesight if you can see that name from there. I'm envious.
Something I've been very fortunate with.
So as possibly the next year's official pulling this together, there's something right there to put larger.
You're throwing that
font,
out early.
Larger font.
Yeah, I noticed we're also reusing these boards. We flipped ours over, and it was Team Falco on the back.
Oh yeah. You'll see some events where they're in different font sizes, different font textures.
It really threw me off at the beginning of this year when our score numbers were a different font. That took me a bit of getting used to compared to last year.
Yep. I don't even notice it now, but it does catch you the first time when the scores got a certain font and the ends that we hang, it's a different font from that. But I don't see it anymore. No.
Yeah, now it's the normal font.
Now it's back in my brain. Thanks, Chris.
Talking about scores, if anyone's listening in, scores are also updated on bondspieler.com. Those are being updated in real time as the ends complete and as the games go on.
Well, we're starting a new end.
Going for a nice center guard here.
Maybe just a little heavy there.
Yeah,
Might be a back five.
these camera angles can be deceiving, but I do think you're right.
Oh, beautiful. Top four.
Definitely don't hate that it is early in the game, but with a large lead.
Yeah. Yeah, no sense putting guards up for the other team to capitalize on at this point. So, Chris, you're in your last year of 5U competition.
This is it.
So, how have you found it over the years?
It's been a nice, I think, for me, it was exactly what I think USA Curling wanted. It was a nice intro, kind of getting into the competitive side of curling. Especially with meeting different teams across the country, there kind of tends to be a 5U circuit, as we kind of call it. So meeting a lot of good teams at other clubs who hopefully I'll start to meet in regionals as time goes on, in different larger events. But it's been a lot of fun, and I've definitely gotten better as a curler, and learned quite a bit going to these events. It also kind of became the first real team that I was getting familiar with skipping at competitive level events, so that kind of taught me what I needed to bring back in league and learn from other people, like my skip Phil on Tuesday and some of the other more experienced curlers in the club. And I don't have a headset on, so I have no idea how much background noise we're getting.
It's not too bad. We can hear a lot of the noise in the warm room, but we also are picking up the calls out on the ice.
Awesome.
So I am trying to lower some of these mics here.
Well, hopefully by this time next year we'll have streaming on all 4 of our sheets. We're putting together a committee now and starting to get that action together to expand our streaming presence and have more sheets available on YouTube.
We're all looking forward to that. We're also looking at installing carpeting in the ice room.
I'm very much looking forward to that.
Around the edges, yeah. I think that'd be a good improvement. Right now we've got the black weightlifter mats, and it just seems like they may transport a little more.
It just doesn't hold anything, you know. It just any dirt just kind of sweeps off and kind of attaches to your shoes.
No matter how much the ice crew vacuums and mops and keeps that clean, we still bring in stuff from the warm room and it eventually gets out on the ice. So the carpeting should help that.
I hope so. Man, they're sweeping this one all the way, trying to get it to curl.
It was interesting that he changed directions from the first couple that came in with the intern.
Yeah.
Decided to go with an outturn there.
It worked out for him.
Yep.
Great center guard. Just about on center line. It looks from the top down, it looks like it is.
So at this point in the game, down 6, if you're the skip that's down, I would think maybe you'd want to be working on the guards and tucking behind them as opposed to attacking. What are your thoughts here, Chris?
Well, I mean, the goal would kind of be to keep the middle open, but you also want to start off the end with some stones on the wings. I think that hit right there is pretty good if they can get that out on the edge. I think close enough. Doesn't look like a biter in the back. That right there is not terrible, because now if you can manage to lose that red or get kind of a run back and be sitting one, it leaves you open for a shot for 2 or 3, which at least allows you to get back into it.
We got a little update on sheet A. Looks like it's tied up 1-1. Italy, Finland. Sheet C. Netherlands scored another point, so they're sitting 5-0 with Estonia. And sheet D. It looks like Turkey picked up 3 in the second end, so it's 3-1 Turkey, Japan. Well, I got to give a shout out to the ice crew. They're doing a fantastic job. Dave, thank you so much for everything you do for DCC Ice. Without you, this wouldn't happen, so really appreciate it. And then also thank you to all the volunteers and ice crew members that
I think that includes you, Tim. Thank you for prepping the ice right before this draw here.
It's a group effort, right?
Absolutely. I've seen that's another thing. It's definitely with these 5Us. It takes a village, and the ice crew is very much behind the scenes sometimes, but man, they're the workhorses behind all this. Just a hair too much, just a hair over curl. They were on that sweep. May have been able to get it. Still not terrible. Things are lined up pretty well on that yellow. To kind of maybe get a hit on the other side for it.
What is Cal going to decide here? I was talking to Cal before the draw, and he says, on this side of the glass in the Wormer, he says our curling IQ is like
absolutely.
60 points higher.
We all shoot 100% from the warm room, right?
Yep. So Cal is in his second year. He's doing a great job. I see him out here practicing quite a bit. Nice shot. I think they froze there. Maybe a little separation, but England's
Very good
sitting
shot.
pretty good. They're sitting 3 right now. So I'm assuming that a little hit on that the 1 counter and try to roll under cover would be.
That would be ideal, I think, here. I don't quite know if you lose both of them with that angle, but still, to get one under cover kind of gives you more options later in the end.
Looks like he's calling for normal. Wide there, but it moved some rocks around.
It did. Jostled them a bit.
So not a bad outcome.
No, the path to the button is a bit more open now.
Well, Cal keeps looking at that yellow.
It's tempting.
Up there.
If you can kind of sneak right past that red, they're looking lined up better now. So I think they're kind of. Do you think they're debating on guarding that side or just kind of piling them in there?
I think he's looking at guarding that up with that broom placement. That rock looks a little bit heavy. That might come in. So I'd be sweeping it right now and trying to maybe tick off that red that's under cover.
I think a little bump would be okay, even as long as you move it. You don't want to hit nose, but that works.
Yep.
That'll do it. That's exactly.
There.
Yeah.
Very nice. Now that yellow's
Yeah, you
not
can't.
accessible.
Not with the weight you need. Ooh, they're on this one pretty hard.
Yeah, might get a little bump there.
That makes things interesting on that line again.
So what do you like here? Do you like drawing in, or a little hit action?
For Team England, I think I would probably draw in there.
I think so too.
Like, I
Maybe
think
just
top
four.
Yep, top four would be perfect. If it kind of runs a little deep, getting under cover wouldn't be horrible. Yeah, I mean you can kind of play it pretty aggressive here. I feel like.
You know, even light's a good miss, right?
Right.
So clog up their path, try
Yep.
to get in there.
Takeaway options for the other team.
I'm not sure they've been out quite this wide with that broom, so I'll be curious to see how the speed of that is if we haven't ran some rocks down there.
I don't think it'll be too much of a big deal. It was pretty consistent out there.
Nice.
Even once he got out pretty wide, it felt it wasn't a whole lot of frost out there.
Oh, that's great. Well, it hung pretty straight. But it's also up a little bit.
It is up.
So
Yeah, so those outside lines are pretty similar speed.
yep. Well, it's nice to have consistent speeds across the sheet.
Very much so.
Occasionally this time of year with the seasonal changes, you can get some tracky stuff going on, and we're not seeing that, which is fantastic. I'm guessing he's doing a hit and roll here, right?
Yeah, I think you could go a little bit of preference here, whether you prefer the draw and you're confident in the draw weight, or if you'd rather do the hit and roll. I think this kind of comes down a little bit to your play style and what your team's comfortable throwing. See, and just like that, moved one of the reds. Sitting shot, but it is pretty open. Didn't quite get the roll they were hoping on that.
preferred a little draw there.
Yeah.
But you know, if you hit that hit and roll perfect, it's great. Just
Yep.
not as easy a shot to execute as the draw. I think. So it looks like he's tightened the broom up a little bit. So I assume he's going control-ish. Oh, okay. There, the broom just
Look-
went out.
Looks like he called for control weight, so. Got the one, got the nice roll out. England sitting 3 for sure.
Well, I think maybe just one. There's that yellow.
You think?
Well, maybe two.
Do we have the top down somewhere?
No, this is as good as we get right now. We can kind of have a cat's eye lens on the overhead, so it doesn't give you a straight top down. It's difficult to verify which stones are counting or out counting the other ones.
Looks like they're going for the hit and roll again. Oh, it's over curling.
Get a piece of that. I don't think they stick around.
I don't think so.
I believe that was hammer, right? So
That
we'll have
was.
to see what they hang there. At least one,
At least one.
possibly three. Looks like a little secondary looking to just verify the count.
So I think it's going to be 1 or 2.
Just a reminder to folks out there, let the vices do their job.
No measure needed. Looks like 2 England.
2 red. So England is up 8-0 at this point. So it looks like the rest of the sheets are still playing the third end. We'll give you updates as those scores come in. So, Chris, have you seen a lot of familiar faces from doing the 5U circuit?
I have seen a fair amount, a lot from Denver this year. It's good to see a lot of Denver and Rock Creek players here at the 5U this year. There's been a lot of new faces this year as well from other clubs. So
It's good. They've expanded the field in Denver this year. I think in the past it's been, 24 teams?
I think it was 24, 28. Yeah, this year we're at 32. So yeah, quite a bit this year. There's definitely the right idea there to not chase that red that's in the house. You need guards.
Well, on sheet D, it looks like Japan scored 1 in the third.
Make-
So it's 2.
Looks like 3-2. Look at your cheat sheet there. 3-2 Team Turkey.
And again, Japan is Orange County, and Team Turkey is the Santa Fe Bay Area, Frogtown, Lone Star combination there.
Looks like we got a score on sheet C as well. Looks like the Netherlands scored 1, so that makes that 6-0 Netherlands over Team Estonia. And then over on sheet A, looks like Team Italy scored 1, making that 2-1 Italy over Finland.
So, Chris, where's the 5U Nationals this year? Oh, I thought maybe you'd know already.
I am focused on this weekend right now.
Gotcha.
I've in the past, anytime I feel like I've focused too much on that and put it in my calendar, it hasn't quite worked out that well. So this year I'm focusing on this weekend and then figure out the logistics afterwards, you know.
You know, last year, Christian Rose, he actually bought round-trip tickets for Nationals before this event occurred.
Really?
And,
Out of some confidence.
absolutely.
Or was there just a great flight deal and he jumped on it?
It could have been that too. With all the travel he does with the juniors, I'm sure he's looking for those opportunities to grab those good flight opportunities when they come up. Well, they got two nice yellow guards sitting up there. It's a good setup to duck behind and try to get a few points this end.
It is. With how the ice is curling, they can definitely get under there too.
Oh, absolutely.
They threw 2 of them, so this is hopefully some muscle memory and remembering the right line, and they can definitely get there.
Not sure they had enough room on that, but it looks like it's coming over
It's
nicely.
looking pretty good. If they can sweep it for weight, they can get it there. A little short.
A little short, but still a handy rock.
Absolutely. You can definitely get some nice raises under there, still stay under cover.
You can maybe even split
Yeah?
a rock on there too. So, if I'm Cal at this point, I'd start ripping guards. But maybe with the scoreboard up, he's just looking to just bring them on in the house.
Yeah, sometimes you call a strategy, and when it works, just stick with it sometimes.
We've seen that a few times, huh?
I have. Been on both sides of that one.
Yeah, I think we all have. It sounds so good, then you change it up, it's like, uh-oh. How did we get in trouble?
Not quite the outcome they wanted there. There are still plenty of guards in play, though. Still plenty of options. Be a great time to sneak a nice draw under the guard. Got a backing for a potential jam. If you can sneak that in there, he's sitting good. Going on to the later parts of the end. Looking pretty good.
Ball's a nice shot.
That was very nice.
That's a lot of room for him.
I think it depends if he knows his teammates' release and
True.
how they tend to throw.
They're a new team. This is the first time.
First time they
they've
played together?
Yeah.
Okay.
So good communication back and forth between
I would not have guessed
the
that, yeah.
thrower and the skip on adjusting for room. Just a little bit less there. Looks like the weight was pretty close to Hack. But I will say, from traveling all across the country this year, and past few years, Denver's got some of the best ice out there.
Absolutely. Pretty much year round, too. I know some different areas struggle with different weather conditions, and we got right up there with them with some of the most swingy weather. And our ice is always consistent throughout.
We played a few clubs this year that had maybe 1 to 2 feet of curl. And that was a new experience.
It was.
Typically playing on swingy ice to playing on some very straight stuff. It was, gave me a real appreciation for what we have here in the Denver facility. That's a nice shot coming in.
Hey, once you find that line, find that weight, it's a little easier to follow it in. Hair heavy, thick and stick.
Just out the bottom.
It looks like it's biting back there, but I definitely think the red is out counting. Looks like maybe they're trying to go for a plan B off the yellow, just a little tick. Get the roll,
Oh my.
just like that.
That's a lovely plan B right there. Looks like across the other sheets we're still in the fourth end. We'll give you updates as the fourth end is finished. Before this draw, they had a interesting parade of nations. I think you participated, Chris.
Felt like kind of like the mini Olympics over here.
We had curlers with flags from various countries do a little parade around the exterior of the club.
We even had some neighbors watching us and waving us on as we were walking around the back side of the building where the neighborhood behind us is. Had a little audience.
There you go. I do recall hearing some bagpipes. I'm not sure if they were authentic, but there was some bagpipe music being played during the parade.
I mean, anywhere in the white. I mean, this is good, but like anywhere up there. It just has to get over. Okay, never touch it. It might over curl, but that's okay. Hey Joe, I like it. Great shot.
He's looking at running the yellow, huh? I think there's enough room to get in there.
Absolutely. It's not an easy shot, but the angles are there.
So, Chris, is there a time limit on these games?
So they're doing a hour and 40, and then at that point you finish the end you're on +1. If you end up tied after that, we're doing an extra end from there.
It's nice.
It is nice. They built in enough time in between draws, so just in case there is a ninth end, which is always nice. It always sometimes a little bittersweet to have a very close game tied after 8, come down to one single stone each. You know, it's always nice to have time to play a full extra end. Mike. Boy, that is close for one. you tell which way they called it?
Nope. Well, judging by the hack setup, I believe
Yep.
it's Team England. Looks like sheet A is now on the 5th end. Can you tell?
Looks like what's that?
Finland, I think.
Yep, Team Finland scored 2, making that a score of 3-2. Finland over Italy. Those are 2 DCC teams over there. Looks like sheet C and D are still finishing up there, and looks like they're throwing last stones now.
And a correction on sheet C, the Netherlands is the team from Detroit playing Team Estonia, which is a Denver curling club. And Detroit is currently up 6-0 in the fourth.
You know, I do believe you said DCC, and that is still correct.
This is
It
true.
is the Detroit Curling Club, but it's
Yep.
not the same DCC that we are used to talking about.
I figured listeners out there might appreciate the clarification. And a shout out to Quentin Way, the ice maker at Detroit Curling Club. If you're out there, Q, have a good one, buddy.
Yeah. Gotta go hard. Hard line.
Looks like we got score updates on sheet C and D. Over on sheet C, Team Netherlands got another single, so they're up 7-0 over Team Estonia. And then over on sheet D, saw it just a second ago, and now the skip's standing right over the score.
Actually holding their broom up, blocking the score, too. I haven't seen that before.
Looks like Team Turkey got a 3 on that last end. They're now up 6-2 over Team Japan. So Team Japan will be looking to come back with a hammer here and try and close that gap.
Yeah, the games on A and B, they're fairly competitive. A little bit lopsided on B and C, which is not unusual in some of the 5U events. You've got sometimes some first-year curlers going up against fifth-year curlers, and the skill level is. You definitely notice the improvements in the years of curlers.
Absolutely.
Typically, about the third year is when you see that real breakthrough between the first year and the fifth year. General improvements from there on.
It's been another fun part about the 5U experience. It's like seeing the same curlers year over year and just seeing how quickly people improve with just a single year of playing and experience.
So if you're around the club on Saturday night, please swing by. We'll have Emily will be hosting the Shenanigans event. A lot of interesting games, game shows, bingo. It changes each year. I have no idea what shows in store
I
this
believe we have some boat races coming along.
year. We'll have to get the trophy out.
Yes. Emily hosts a fun Saturday night for the 5U.
So I'm not sure what Cal's calling here. I think he was calling for a T-weight tap with that yellow. Doesn't quite make sense. I'm sure there was some other instructions.
Big line, right line.
Looks like they're just kind of guarding that up, plugging that hole. If they can get that to curl over a little more. Just like that. Finish super nice. Right where they wanted it.
Let's get it out. Actually, let's hit that.
Oh, that was a nice shot. there.
Well, I just afraid it was gonna barely tick it, and then we would have been.
Looks like we had a double takeout over on A, so we got the Golden Globe moving over to A for some free drinks if they can hold on to that by the end of the game.
Looks like we had some good communication between the shooter and the skip there on adjusting room for plugging this port, or if it's a little heavy coming up in. That's a good spot.
That is good. Looks like they're just trying to plug up and prevent that draw from coming in.
Still a little room.
It's curling pretty good, finishing pretty good, so there's potential to get one in there. Looks like they might look on opening it up a little bit. Maybe give themselves a better shot with the skip stones.
Those are almost lined up to keep that back red out if you hit it just right. I'm not sure if that was a shot.
It's unfortunate that it kind of got nose and didn't really didn't roll over very far. It moved a little bit over, so kind of left a little more room. Just unfortunate result.
But it looks like the call is to just touch the top of the house there and plug up the draw path.
Yep. I'm thinking we go say bye to some couple people that are heading out and probably get ready for the game tomorrow.
All right. Well, good luck tomorrow, Chris.
Yep. Good talking with you, Tim.
Yep. Thanks.
Thanks for helping with the ice, and we'll see you around some more this weekend.
Good curling.
Chris, go straight. Going through the hole.
All right, that was.
Block it up.
Looks like run the red back, tap the yellow, push the shot rock out for maybe one. Here comes the hammer. Curl a little bit there. Just a little. Looks like it's one red. Spin around the other sheets here. It looks like sheet A is in the 6th end. And Team Finland is up. They're 5-2 against Italy. In the 5th end on sheet C is the Netherlands 7-0 with Estonia. And on sheet D in the 5th end, the scores after 4, it is 6 Turkey to 2 Japan.
Yeah, give it a little bit. Yeah, line. Didn't I get where's it at? Oh, yeah, yeah. All the way, all the way. That was good. Yeah, that's what I told him.
You in the house? Yeah. Should we just go? Let's do this. Back line. It's off center.
All right, looks like they're going to try to split that guard, calling backline weight.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh. Up. Just the corner guard. Yeah, for weight.
Looks like plan B is a corner guard there.
Nothing to lose.
Cal's looking to draw back in behind the center guard.
prefer? Okay. Yeah, stop. Got it, curl. Or it's just a great shot. Yeah.
Do it.
The wine's good. Weight looks a little hot. Yeah.
Yeah. Line.
Oh shit. Okay, cool. That looks way hotter than that. You want to take it out or do you want to draw?
Bring it down to the red.
Okay. Control. Yep. Yep. Line. Doing line. No, it's perfect. It just moved a lot at the end. Yeah, that's fine.
It plugs up that so they can't
Great.
go over there.
Yeah.
Pull up.
Good line. Real good line. Line ends up somewhere over here.
Let's kill this.
Sweep her in.
Yeah, I think that.
Great shot.
Line's good. What weight? Yeah, normal.
We're back after a short pause for the cause there. And joining me now is Jamie Connell out of the Billings Curling Club.
Hi, Tim. It's good to see you.
Good to see you. Jamie's a former member of DCC, but you're probably still a current member too, right?
I'm not a league playing member of DCC, but I'd love to come down here and visit.
We always enjoy having you back. So tell us about the arena playdowns you've got coming up for the Dakota Territories.
We do have, for anybody that doesn't know about arena curling, it's for the many clubs across the country that curl on ice that's multiple use ice that's shared by figure skaters and hockey skaters, and intermittently we try and smooth the ice out as best we can and host curling events. Most places it's just 1 or 2 days a week, and it's a very different game. The ice isn't as consistent. You have to throw it a little bit harder, but it's a lot of fun, and a lot of people play arena curling. And so there's a national arena championship that we have playdowns in each of the regions, where both a men's team and a women's team qualifies to go to nationals later this year. So we're excited about it. We're hosting it in Billings in the middle of April. We have 12 teams coming to town to play.
That's great. That's April 10th through the
10th through the, well, depending on how many teams, but for now it's the 10th through the 13th.
very cool.
Yeah, Chris.
It's a different game.
Absolutely.
There's quite a few arena curling teams here today. There's a Utah team that's an arena team who's doing very well. They placed second in one of the 5 and under playdowns just a couple of weeks ago. And I believe some of the California teams might also be arena curling teams.
Yeah, we've got Orange County and San Francisco Bay Area both represented out there on the ice this evening.
And those might be dedicated. I've never played in
I think
California.
San Francisco's dedicated, and I'm not sure about Orange County.
But people seem to be doing just fine on this ice.
Oh yeah, the ice is fantastic. We've got very consistent curl and consistent speeds. And I'm sure coming from arena, it's a lot of fun to come play on it.
It's very fun, and you just have to remember when you kick out of the hack that when they call for a guard, you better hang on to it for all the way to the hog line and just throw it much lighter than we throw it at home.
Very good. When does your season finish up in?
Our last event is the last weekend of April.
Okay.
And the ice will go out that weekend after that.
Very good. If I heard you earlier, you're off to Missoula to play in their arena spiel.
Yes, we have the Missoula Bonspiel. If anybody who's listening hasn't played in it, it's a blast. It's a large Bonspiel that's played on arena ice. People come from all over the Northwest, and we just have a wonderful time. They do a great job of working on the ice for days in advance and getting it as consistent as you can get arena ice. That's also had ice skating on it not too long before, but it's just a wonderful time. They have a real celebration associated with it, and Missoula's a fun town.
How many clubs are there in the Dakota?
In Montana, we have 12 different arena clubs. In North Dakota, there are 0, and South Dakota, I think South Dakota has 6 or 8.
Very good.
In North Dakota, I think they have 9 dedicated ice clubs. So all the older arena clubs have the people have moved on and curl at the dedicated clubs across the state.
Gotcha. I saw a team here earlier from Fargo, Moorhead.
We played them
Oh, very
earlier
good.
today. Yeah, super nice young men and good curlers.
Excellent. That's
You could tell they were from North Dakota right out of the gate as soon as they started yelling. I want Yellow to get a shot here. Put one in. He's got a full-on pink broom. This has got to be good.
I never noticed the broom.
I don't know. There's a high guard up there. It's looking like maybe the draw doesn't. It looks easier sitting here than it does when you look out on the ice.
Yeah, the cameras always have a different perspective.
There's that high yellow guard that I didn't see at first. I think he could sneak one in there.
I think there's enough room there.
And he has some backing. Oh, sure there is. Yeah.
Yeah, the overhead kind of that cat's eye lens kind of skews the perspective a little bit sometimes. But looking head on, it looks like there's a good amount of room for a draw there.
And which country are they representing?
Oh, I've got to go back to my cheat sheet.
It's England versus.
China Taipei. And England is the Red Rocks, so it's China getting ready to throw.
And I think this gentleman, his jacket looks like one of the California teams, but I don't think that's where he's from. Come on. Sweep. It looks late.
My notes indicate they're from Rock Creek, but it could be
Oh, okay.
curlers that have transplanted from other locations. And
It's going to hit the other guard. Oh, no, it's not. No, it's not.
Okay.
Nice throw.
down to that back one. Well done.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So you saw how that stone kind of landed in that white notch. The houses represent the Colorado flag, right?
When I first saw the houses that were put in here, I'm like, well, of course. Like, you think, well, who thought of that? But then, why didn't we think of that before?
I know that all goes back to our ice maker, Mr. Falco. Fantastic job with the design for that. And we often joke that when a rock lands in that white spot, it's called the wedgie. And we hypothesize about doing some kind of spiel where you get 2 points if you land a rock in the wedgie, but
I like
it
that.
hasn't happened yet.
1.5 if it's part in. Well, we made a little bit of a mistake this year in Montana. We had our board meeting and decided we were going to play the center line tick rule. And then in our first game, we realized we don't have a center line. So we had to abandon the fancy new center tick rule.
Very good. Yeah, there are some clubs that have embraced it, and there are some other clubs that refuse to utilize it at this point.
Something that's kind of interesting on arena ice is if we find ourselves in a situation where the ice is not curling very much at all, instead of throwing the guard followed by a draw, we'll often throw the rock in the house, hope they miss the takeout, and then put the guard on top of it. And if you can do that, then you're pretty solid. If there's not a lot of curl on the ice, then you have to throw a takeout. And takeouts can be more challenging on ice that has some interesting dynamics to it. It doesn't hold a straight line very well, but it doesn't curl consistently either. On league ice, if you're playing in a major event or a big bonspiel where they've had time to really work on the ice, then it's very different. You can get good curl and consistent ice on arena ice, but on a Thursday night where the hockey players were there 15 minutes before we arrive, it can have some adventurous angles and lines going down the ice.
Well, I feel very fortunate to be playing on dedicated ice.
I will tell you that having played here first and then moving to arena ice, I feel like the arena ice has taught me to see the lines more on the ice, even on dedicated ice. I start to see that it's not curling as much on that line, or it's curls hard once it gets across the hog line, because I get used to watching for it on arena ice more so than I used to when I curled here.
Right, I can totally see that, and I've seen that with other curlers that have come from arena to dedicated. They've got that. Well, skips typically have that skill set built in.
There's some pretty amazing arena skips that then if they find themselves in a dedicated ice situation, they lose that advantage because
Right.
the ice is far more consistent, and so they still are a very good curler, but they don't have the advantage of that they can pick up on and knowing to throw a reverse handle. That's something we do on arena ice often, is instead of rotating the rock clockwise and the rock moving from left to right, you might throw the rock clockwise turn and it still moves left because the rock is actually falling as opposed to curling. And it might curl halfway down the sheet and then fall the second half.
There's definitely an art there for the arena skips.
And you can always blame your bad shot on the ice on arena ice.
There you go.
Is that good or you want a little more?
We like to say that there's two kinds of arena ice. There's the arena ice that you hear about when the U.S. championships are being held on arena ice. The Olympic caliber playing, and they're like, oh, we're playing on arena ice. That is not the same thing as hockey ice, or even ice that was hockey ice the day before.
Yeah, at those national events, USA Curling brings in the ice crew. They do a fantastic job
They do.
of prepping that surface. They spend several days ahead of time prepping and maintaining. Just compliments to all those ice makers out there.
It's definitely a science
Absolutely.
and a lot of hard work. Anybody who's on the volunteer ice crew gets bonus points from me. They do a lot of hard work, but that you don't really see if you're watching games on the YouTube channel. You're right, yellow gets another chance. They could be sitting,
Yeah, they're sitting 2 right now.
3.
Chance for 3. I believe this is Skip Stones here.
I don't know. On TV, you'd take those 2 red ones out in the back somehow and sit 4. I don't know that it's there, but on TV, like the other kind of TV, like ESPN. But sitting 3 would be good for this team. They've been just giving up ones all the way through, except for that first unfortunate end.
Well, it is challenging too. They get one sweeper.
That's right.
The advantage of playing 3 is the front end gets to throw a couple more rocks, so they get dialed in a little sooner. But on the sweeping side of it,
We play with 3 often on arena ice, partially just because we don't have as many people. And sometimes it's an advantage. You threw the first rock a little bit too heavy, second one a little too light, third one just right. Assuming the other team gives you 3 chances.
yeah, in my first season, it was a team of 3, and I thought that was a great benefit.
You
3 rocks
really?
each end, it helped get you dialed in a little sooner.
And when you're playing in recreational league, you come down for the evening to get to throw that extra rock on each end as a new curler. That's a lot more practice.
So do you typically play 8 ends?
We often get to 8 ends because we really encourage people to play fast, especially on arena ice that's a recreational league. To spend a whole bunch of time sitting in the house talking about it when you're not really sure what the rock's going to do exactly, better to just keep play moving along, and so people get more and more practice and more play. We often get to 7, sometimes we get to 8. If we play doubles or if we play Sterling, we get a lot more ends in.
So why would you describe Sterling?
Sterling is a game that you play with 4 people, at least the way that we play it. I think it has many different versions, but the way that we play it, we put 2 people at each end of the ice, and there's a red team player and a yellow team player on the far end, and red and yellow on this end. Let's say I'm the red team player. I throw 6 red rocks, and the yellow person throws 6 yellow rocks. The person on the other end who's playing my skip can only sweep after it crosses the hog line. And so I throw all of my rocks. It goes red, yellow, and then we score. And then I become the skip, and my partner throws all of his 6 rocks.
Okay.
And it's fun and it's fast because there's no running back and forth. We don't do any conversation of people coming down and discussing.
Yeah.
We just throw. And over lunchtime curling, we call it, we can play 10, 12 ends.
Well, that's fantastic.
And you throw a lot of rocks. It's a good way to practice. It's becoming an interesting Bonspiel event. You're particularly up in the north, we're seeing people hosting Sterling events and getting huge turnouts.
Wow, that's very cool. We'll give you a little score update here. It looks like B, we are done. They've running the mops. On sheet D, they're in the 7th end. In the 6th end, Turkey scored 3, so it's currently 9 Turkey to 5 Japan. On sheet C, it's a little bit lopsided there. The Netherlands are sitting 9, and Astoria has still working to put a score on the board. And on sheet A, it's been a very competitive battle. They're in the 7th end. During the 6th, Italy scored 1, and the score currently is Finland 5, Italy 3. And with our feature sheet being done, we're going to back away from the mics, and I believe Collie will probably shut the stream down at some point. So thanks everyone. And,
Thanks for
appreciate you
inviting me.
listening. Thanks, Jamie.